morning, everyone. It is September 2nd, and we go back to work tomorrow. And the seasons are changing in my life, but also in the world. Yeah, it's fall. This morning it is 11 degrees. I'm wearing a toque and all my cozies. But I just wanted to give you a quick update in the garden, kind of around the town. As you can see, the turkeys are getting humongous. Chickens are doing well. I had to move them today. We got lots of apples on the trees. It's a bit breezy this morning, but I wanted to get in here and show you what's going on. Mostly just a ton of beauty. This oregano is so pretty. It's a nice addition to the garden this year. All the zinnias and sunflowers. But yeah, so let's take a peek at what's going on in here. The garden is out of control. Not that we really want to control it, but I basically planted it and forgot about it this year. I've made a couple of things with the very ugly tomatoes I've grown this year. So I've done pasta sauce already, salsa, and today I've got pizza sauce on the go. But it is a joy actually to just be in the garden at this time of year because it's just complete and utter chaos, but it's beautiful. You can hardly walk in any of the paths, which is so strange when in the springtime I feel like we're never going to get here, and then we get here and it's just so amazing and full of life and food. So I've been harvesting the kale. There is actually still kohlrabi down in this bed that I noticed yesterday, so I might try and harvest some of that. But the kale is doing very well. Brian's carrots are amazing, so let's look down in here. You can see all the carrots. I harvested a few out of here for the dogs the other day. It looks great. Look at this. So pretty. I have to say that one of my favorite plants for flowers are zinnias. They have so many different types and varieties. The ones this year I grew were a little bit smaller, but they're still so beautiful. Look at these sunflowers. It's so pretty. I didn't do a very good job eating our purple potted beans this year, but that's okay. We ate a bunch of them. I didn't preserve any, which is a first for me. But yeah, just got busy. I have a lot of volunteer calendula. I've used some of my peppers, mostly in the salsa, but we've got some nice looking jalapenos and bell peppers. So I'm going to make some more pasta sauce, so we'll use them in there. This was actually the only bed that I didn't really kind of mulch or that didn't grow in. So yeah, it's kind of odd because I'm such a huge mulcher. But yesterday I harvested a cantaloupe. One of them rotted and I harvested one from the next bed over. So this was the squash and melon bed. I've gotten a lot of zucchinis out of that one plant. So I was glad to have been able to kind of save one plant. I'm really happy to see. So my friend Melissa had sent me some lumberjack beans. So I'm happy to see that I've got some bean pods on these lumberjack plants. It's extra special this year that they've grown and done well. And I just have some lettuce going to seed here. This was the best year for dill I've ever had. Lots of dill, so I'm just gonna let it self seed in here and hope that I get some as great as I did this year next year. So pretty. but you can hardly, like that's the path, and you can hardly walk through here. The trellis of purple potted beans. They're still really pretty hanging down, but they're not edible at this point. So they're good for seed. All this calendula going to seed. This is all calendula, some zinnias. There are some melon vines in there. There's a melon there. So, and back in there. This is, I think, these are both, I think, the honeydew. But there's the one cantaloupe that rotted, so yucky. My one zucchini plant is over there. These are all marigolds. They're late to the party, but that's okay. Beautiful calendula. Like, look at this dill. It's almost as tall as me. So pretty. I'm not pickling anything at this time of year, but if I were, I would be right ready. So that is a volunteer squash vine that grew out of the compost, and it looks to be an acorn squash, which I didn't plant, so that's a bonus. All of the sweet potato vines look really good, so it'll be interesting to see what we get as far as sweet potatoes go. We had Cherokee Trail of Tears and I guess something else, or maybe those, I have to look back to see what I planted. Probably something from Melissa. She was my bean provider. Here I still do have some red cabbage in here. I haven't even been down this aisle because it's tough walking. Lots of borage. So there, I have 2 red cabbages that are ready, 3. All the other cabbages I harvested and made sauerkraut out of a number of weeks ago. In this bed here, we have the Brussels sprouts. So my friend Melissa told me to cut the tops off so that the Brussels sprouts head up. And they are. Look at how beautiful they are. This is the cauliflower and broccoli bed. Now just marigolds and sunflowers for the most part. You can see here that broccoli, those florets went to seed. Oh, a cauliflower. I missed it. Well, maybe I'll see if I can harvest it and eat it. But look at these beauties. I have lots of tomatoes ripening. My basil. Looks like it fell over too. I wonder, this looks like it's listing. Look at this beauty. I love these midnight snack. Lots of nasturtium in here. I just noticed growing up into this tomato plant that acorn squash. That's cool. Look at this little baby acorn squash right here. It's kind of fun just letting stuff go. But this is the time of day to be in the garden. All this beautiful borage. Hummingbird was just flitting behind me. So yeah, tomatoes, got lots of them. None of them are pretty. A lot of fasciated blossoms, but they make good sauces. So that's what I like to use them for. We definitely have some for toasted tomato and bacon sandwiches, but yeah, okay. So this part of the trellis, these were scarlet runners. So I will definitely harvest those, like try and get seeds from them. This bed, although it looks like it's all nasturtiums, used to be onions. I've used the onions in all of my sauces so far and for some other dishes to make my egg bites and stuff. So when I need onions, I'm going to have to buy them now, which is fine. I'm happy to see my marigolds. Oh, fun. I got some broccoli. I'll have to come and pick that for dinner tonight. And some more over there. So if you ever grow broccoli, harvest it, but then just leave it because you'll have more popping up that you can harvest. I did leave volunteer sunflowers. I told myself I wouldn't, but I did. All of my potatoes are ready to dig. Who knows when that's going to happen. I'm going to clean my garlic today. That's my plan, is to get all of the garlic cleaned. We were walking around the back 40 the other day, and we had been harvesting blackberries, and then the other day when I went, it looked like Brian had driven through there with a tractor. The bears also found them, so they cleaned them out. So pretty. Okay, so tomatoes, another bed of tomatoes. Normally I manage for blight, I prune them, the lower leaves and stuff, but this year, nada. Brian did a great job tying them, and I've topped them all to encourage them to ripen on the vine. The last bed here is the squash. Good news story in the squash bed. After that hard start to the summer managing striped cucumber beetle and squash bug, I have a number of beautiful butternut squash. There's my watermelon vine. I'll show you in a minute. But it's so hard to walk through here, but I want to show you. So I bet maybe we might have like 10 or so butternuts, so that's good. Look at this tomato. These are so pretty. This is the green zebra. And they turn like yellow when they ripen a little bit, but look at that. I want to show you this one butternut squash that I'm so excited about. Look at that giant. She's a doozy, Susie. It's exciting. I think that's the one. Yeah. Anyways, she's a big one. Yeah, so we got some butternut squash in here, so that'll be good. Be very agile to get through here without stepping on anything. Okay. And then I'm going to show you the one thing that I am pretty excited about. I grew a watermelon. I don't know if it's going to mature by the time we get our first frost, but there it is. And I've been checking. So it's attached to the vine right here, and that when it's ready, that little curlicue dies back. There's another little one that's not going to do anything, but that's exciting. I grew a watermelon. I just hope I get to eat it. But yeah, so there we go. It's just been such a year. Very different than what I had anticipated, but that goes back to not setting expectations. Let's go down quick and I'll report on the downstairs garden, kind of where we're at. But overall, it's absolutely stunning in here. It's such a short season. It actually happens so fast. It comes and goes. But I'm super grateful for the beauty that this gives us at this time of year. Brian's asparagus patch is looking good. We found a bunch of salamanders in here under these hay bales, so that's cool. So the sunflowers, I'm going to take you around the other side, are starting to open. Our pumpkin patch, let's go in here first, and then I'll give you a shot of the sunflowers with the sun on them. So, giant wall of sunflowers. The marauders have found the corn, which didn't end up being too sweet. We ate some of it, but we're mostly feeding it to the chickens now. But this is the pumpkin patch that we didn't manage, as you can see over here. Brian pulled most of the weeds on this side, just to give the plants some room, but I can see they're all getting powdery mildew. But we do have some little pumpkins, so that's pretty cool. Just goes to show you that if you put some seeds in the ground, they really do want to grow. I haven't been down here, but Brian did tell me there's some bigger ones. I just hope the bears didn't find this area, because I don't want to be going in here if there could be a bear. Oh yeah, Oh yeah, we got a big guy. So there's a nice sized pumpkin. Yeah, we got a few. Yeah. So that's cool. That was a lot of work for only a couple of pumpkins, but I'll take it. Oh yeah, something has been marching through here and trashing the sunflower stalks. Whatever. Okay, so corn grew. Not super sweet, but it's kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know who's doing this kind of feeding, but could be bear. Okay, freak. Yeah, it makes me so afraid. All right, so Three Sisters report, because I think I planted it and that was it. Lots of weeds in the Three Sister, and I would say I got 2.5 sisters to grow. So the corn did super well. So did the beans. So this is legit. This kind of method for growing. Like look at the beans. They're all the way to the top, and these are, I believe, these might be Isabella. But I planted Isabella and Cherokee Trail of Tears on these corn stalks, and that worked perfectly. The downside was trying to get the squash to grow. So the squash and pumpkins that I planted, because of the striped cucumber beetle, was a pain in the butt, and they didn't get going fast enough to suppress the weeds. But I do have some. So I do have vines, and where the vines are, there are hardly any weeds. Where there's not any vines, there is a lot of weeds. So, I mean, for my second time trying this, I feel like I did a little bit better. Look at this vine. It's growing right up into the... Oh, look! A little pumpkin. How cute. That won't amount to anything, but I think it's exciting. So, oh man. Here's a little pumpkin. Oh, somebody's been eating it. But there's a couple pumpkins on here. Okay, so not a complete failure. I want to show you what the corn looks like. So this was peaches and cream corn. Beautiful. Chickens love it. Okay, so to say that it's not edible, it's totally edible. It's just not as sweet as we would prefer. But if you really wanted to, you could dry it and grind the corn down into cornmeal, which would be delicious. So it is definitely usable. So we will use it to feed the chickens and turn it into tasty eggs. So I'll put that in my pouch. The downside to growing corn is that the dogs come down, and corn cobs are bad for dogs. So I don't want to bring them down here. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I don't know if they just ate a corn or not. Very pretty. This one looks like it's smiling. Lots are still waiting to open. Just to give you an idea of how tall these are. They're huge. If nothing else, they make me smile. Anyways, I hope you all had a great gardening season, are in mid food preservation season. I didn't do as much as I wanted to this year, but it is what it is. And there's always next year. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.